Hello, los fantasmas de la cocina. Hi, I'm Gaby Melian. I'm a chef, a teacher, and an author of a couple of books. Today I'm here in this fantastic kitchen, and I got a surprise. Ta-da! I am going to show you how I turn this T-bone steak in nachos my way. The flavors in my nachos are inspired by this Chelada. For this chimichurri, I'm gonna apologize, please forgive me, all Argentinians and my mother especially, because I'm gonna be using mango and cilantro, something Argentinians don't do. This is inspired on the Brazilian chimichurri that has cilantro, garlic, a lot of other flavors, and mango. For my mango chimichurri, I'm gonna be using Ataulfo mangoes, and we want little tiny squares. So what I usually do is just cut the cheeks of the mango, and then I save this for snacking. All right, then I'm gonna make little cuts. The tinier the better, like a 1/4 inch, and then the other way around. We gotta be careful not to cut the skin at the bottom. My little perfect squares. And then by using a spoon, I am going to get the little squares out. If I was at home, my dog would be crying next to me. He loves mango. The next step in the chimichurri is gonna be to chop the cilantro and the garlic. The way to do it is by pulsing. You don't wanna create an emulsified sauce. 9, 10, 11, 12. There you go. Can be here 3 hours because I like to get everything out of it. And now I'm gonna put lemon juice, red wine vinegar, a little bit of oregano, red pepper flakes, and you can adjust this as spicy as you want it. A little bit of salt, good amount of pepper, olive oil. There. Ooh. And now the mango. I'm gonna give it a gentle stir. Mango chimichurri. Look at this. All right, we're ready to cook this T-bone steak. It's been out of the fridge for at least 30 minutes. And I pat it dry with a paper towel to take the excess moisture. What you wanna do next is to salt it generously in both sides. And we're ready to cook. My pan is smoking because I preheated in the oven. And now I'm gonna put the steak. And this is the one thing. Put it there, leave it, don't touch it. 3 to 4 minutes in each side. We're gonna flip it once. And one thing, I know many of you are gonna be asking, why 1 inch? I like it thin. In Argentina, we don't eat the meat this thick. It's gonna cook much faster and the flavor is amazing. Look at this. Beautiful. It's beautiful. This is 2 steaks in one. You have the strip here and the fillet on the other corner. You have to insert the thermometer kind of in the middle here, which is gonna be hard in this fat part. 120, we're ready. Bye. I am gonna let the T-bone rest for at least 7 minutes so the juices are redistributing inside. Ooh, looks nice. Are you joking with this? He's like, all right, this is my baby tomato, bye. Pretend I ate the steak, half of it. So with the leftover, I'm gonna make the most amazing nachos. I call it nachos my way, or my favorite nachos. Why they're my way? Because it changes every time. If I have beans, I put beans. If I have tomatoes, I put tomatoes. So the ingredients are as far as you want. The sky is the limit. So this time I have 3 red tomatoes, but what I'm going to do is cut them in squares and remove the seeds. I lie, I say red tomatoes outside, but inside they're still a little white. Collect my tomatitos. All right, tomatitos. So, are you ready, children? Children, gather around. Onion has sulfur, and sulfur cuts oxygen, and that's why you cry. It's basic as that. So when you the more you chop, the more you're gonna cry. The more that the onion is like, don't cut me. So basically, you wanna cut smaller pieces. Onion has 2 parts. This is where the flower grows, and this is the root. So this has to stay intact until we are done. So I'm gonna remove this part first, flip it, so now it's not rolling around your cutting board anymore. Cut it in half. I'm gonna bring it closer to the edge, put my hand on the top, and using the middle of my knife, that's the size that I want them. I'm gonna make a few cuts, and then I'm gonna flip it around and do cuts the long way. That's the size you want it. And then, ta-da! There is your square. I recommend that you cut this like right before you're gonna serve the nachos, not the morning before or the day before. I like a good onion, fresh onion. One of the things we're gonna add is a little mashed avocado. So to cut an avocado, another round thing on a flat surface, you gotta be extremely careful. I've seen it all, silly things. People are peeling it and then cutting it. I find it the best way is to hold it like this or like this with your fingers up. So I'm gonna start in the back because it has more surface to cut. Make a one cut, moving the avocado and the knife at the same time. And if this was right, it should crack open like a Pandora's box. Perfect. Do not, at all costs, to take the beat. It's crazy. I've seen people cutting themselves. Don't do it. There is no need, especially in this case that we only need the flesh and it doesn't have to be pretty. Another thing that you can do, I saw this online. Have you seen this? And I tried it in my house and I looked like a 5-year-old. I was like, oh my God, it works. There. And then you can grow a baby avocado plant from here, but not today. So I get the avocado, nice and easy. So little lime juice on it to prevent it from getting dark. And we're ready to make some nachos. Mushy, mushy, mushy. This is not the right fork. I always have a trick up my sleeve. Do this at home. Gloves is the one thing I can't live without. That's it. I want some chunky avocado. That's it. And I'm not gonna waste. Watch. There you go. Whoops. Ready. The T-bone rested. It's ready. I'm gonna show you what I do with it. Here you have 2 steaks in one. You have the strip, and here is the fillet. This is my favorite part, actually. So what I usually do when I get one of these steaks at home, I eat this part and I use this for something later. So you wanna get it out of the bone, save this for your dog. I'm gonna deconstruct the steak. There. This is the other part. There you go. You probably heard it a million times. When you slice the meat, it has to be against the grain. So the grain are those little lines. I don't know if you can see it. You see that you have lines, how the muscle. Basically, you have to cut the opposite way of that in order to have your meat super tender. This will not be the case because this is already so tender and so good, so we won't have any problem. This will be my favorite part. Can I save it for me? Thank you. All right, so here we go. It's this way. I'm gonna cut it this way. And for the nachos, I mean, if I was having dinner at home, I wouldn't cut it this much. I will cut it on the plate. But for the nachos, you wanna have it in little pieces. So this is great, actually. There you go. Oh my God. Nobody saw that. So tender. Anyway, I am like salivating right now. My mouth is like. There you go. Oh, thank you. All right, let's start assembling my nachos. You start by laying the tortilla on your sheet pan. I know for like spending many minutes trying to get every chip in the place. And that's not the point here, Gaby, but I want cheese in every one. And then we put the cheese. It takes a lot. And I like this one because it's thicker. I don't like the thin cheese shred. Then I'm gonna put a good amount of the jalapenos. I'm using jar jalapenos. You can use fresh if you want. I always have pickled jalapenos at home. I'm gonna spread some black olives. I mean, we put olives in Argentina, we put olives in pizza, and people don't understand it. I must confess, I like pineapple in pizza. Fresh red onion, I think it's a chef thing. Like, they will never confess that they like pineapple in pizza. They'll be like, oh, pineapple in pizza. More cheese. If your meat is very rare, I will put it before you put the nachos in the oven. If your meat is not that rare, I suggest you add it at the end. You do you. I'm gonna wait. Let's go to the oven. I'm gonna put my nachos in the oven for about 8 minutes or until the cheese is completely melted. Oh, is that the oven? Look at these babies. They look amazing. And nachos a la mesa. All right, let's build some nachos. You can serve them in plates, but this is like family style. So I'm gonna put some meat here and there. Meat for everybody. Just put 2 pieces together. Somebody will fight for that. What else? Tomatoes. Just wait before you serve them, a few minutes. Nobody wants to burn the roof of their mouth, so you gotta wait. Some cilantro leaves, cut. I love cilantro. Some people don't. I'm sorry. Here you go. Avocado that I mash. So what I like to do is to put little mounds in different places. So if you don't like avocado, you avoid the pile. But the start of the show is my amazing mango chimichurri made with cilantro. You can leave the bowl next to it and people can grab some here and there. It smells delicious. Sour cream or crema, you don't need a squeeze bottle. You can also put dollops on it. This one is kind of liquid, so I'm gonna do quickly line around. Like that. Nachos are ready. I'm gonna plate some, just so you guys can see it. Ooh, look at the cheese. Cheese, there you go. Delicious. Let's aim for the perfect nacho with the cheese and the meat. I got the mango chimichurri that pairs perfectly with these flavors. I love it. Came out perfect. Fun for summer, easy. I'm gonna eat some more.